Hey guys, will they raise the alert level of Campi Flegrei, the supervolcano near Naples, an area with more than 6 million people? It has leaked out somehow, it seems, that there is an official meeting on Thursday and Friday where they're discussing exactly that, because it's still escalating. It's not over yet. That massive earthquake swarm that we had at Campi Flegrei has leveled out. It's back to earthquakes every day, and after a few more quiet days, guys, the seismic activity is now increasing again at Campi Flegrei. So since March 1st, there were roughly 70 earthquakes already. So they have recorded that, and most of them were again in the area near or under the Solfatara crater, the most active crater of the Campi Flegrei craters, and in the area northwest of the crater. So there is no sign that this situation at Campi Flegrei is easing out. And more scientists jump on board with the theory that there is a very shallow magma chamber at depth of probably 3.9 kilometers. They have brought out a study where they have really outlined the location of that magma chamber. And that would mean it's way more shallow than they previously thought. As of last year, they thought, yeah, it's at 7 to 8 kilometers. No, it's way more shallow. What does that mean? The magma doesn't need to travel that far to come to the surface. And then we had these increased CO2 emissions that are also causing problems. But I would like to talk to you first about that meeting. This is called the Major Risks Commission. So this is getting serious, guys, and I have really been reporting for over a year and a half that the leading scientists at their own institution, the INGV, the Vesuvius Observatory, the Italian Institute, the National Institute for Volcanology and Geophysics, their leading scientists in leading positions, they say, we should evacuate the red zone. Could we evacuate more? Could we at least evacuate the red zone? We should raise the alert level. Do not only prepare for earthquakes, prepare for the worst case scenario. At least prepare for a smaller eruption. At least prepare for phreatic eruptions. Get the people out of there. But whoever says that, and we just recently had the civil defense say that in a public statement, in a public hearing, but only talking about the earthquakes that are probably the precursor, larger, hefty earthquake swarms for an eruption, saying the buildings are not upgraded, they will fall down. We will count the unalived. And you know why I have to say unalived on YouTube, because if you say the other word, it's over for your video. Crazy, but it is like this, guys. And I'm repeating to say that because so many people in the comments are saying, why do you have to say that weird word? Can't you say the real one? I would love to. But let's talk about the Major Risks Commission. They're meeting on Thursday and Friday, or from Thursday on. And the topic is the alert for volcanic risk. And this is kind of the first time that, since I follow this, that they're really saying volcanic risk and not like Brady seism, earthquake, seismic, blah, blah, blah. So they're meeting in Rome, March 6th to 7th, and subject is the review of the alert levels of the Campi Flegrei volcano. This is what some journalists found out. It has leaked out, but they say they have learned this from qualified sources. The aim of this meeting is to update the alert status of the Campi Flegrei volcano. It is currently not in the green phase, it's in the yellow phase. It's equivalent to the attention phase. And already in December or in November 2023, they said, well, if we have another strong earthquake, they had a 4.2, then we really should raise the alert level. And just in May 20th, the year after, in 2024, they did have a 4.4, but they never raised the alert level. There were discussions, and then it came out, yeah, they're worried about property prices, real estate sales would come to a halt, investments, tourism. And we even heard when the civil defense guy was saying, well, we're not prepared at all if we have a magnitude 5.1 earthquake right now, which could come if there is even a smaller eruption. Buildings will collapse and we will count the unalived. Then he got really a shitstorm from builders, from developers that were said, you can't say that is psychologically hurting, because they have a big multi-million, hundreds of million building project, which I reported about this, guys, right on the edge of the Solfatara. If you look out of the window, you can see the Fumaroles. And there's talks that this is going to be a hotel and that Marriott is involved. So it's a big project. I reported about this multiple times. So this meeting, they will not put the status back to green. This is not what this meeting is about. That'd be crazy after this monstrosity of earthquake swarm that had been continuously rattling the people, especially in Pozzuoli, but it was also felt in Baccioli, in Quarto, and in the western outskirts of Naples. So I'm sure they're not discussing lowering the alert level. So they are discussing increasing the alert level to orange. What is leaking out and what they're saying is that this is a technical meeting, and they're saying, oh yeah, this has already been scheduled for some time to evaluate the study processes that scientists are carrying out on the possible revision of the volcano's alert status. This is the official, how you can government, I don't want to say blah, blah. You know what I mean, guys? It's like this. Here's the real statement, and let's plant a bush with flowers around it. And these are these statements, right? So they already began that initiative. It says last June, after the May 20th earthquake, that 4.4 magnitude earthquake that really shook everyone. And I want to address this. Someone wrote in my comments, I live in California and 4.4 is nothing. We don't feel that. It's not bad. And we're having 6s and 7s. We're talking about volcanic earthquakes. They're very shallow. And if they're shallow, you really feel them. Even if they're like a 2, a 1.9, a 1.8, the residents in Pozzuoli, they feel them. And it's shaking them up. And if you have seen my videos about Vancouver, there was a 4.7 that was lifting me up with my couch, and another 4 point something that was lifting me up with my office chair. And just 2 days ago, I was lying in my bed, and there was it's now downgraded. They said 4.6, now 4.1, and my bed was shaking like this. So I really felt it, and it was shaking for 10 seconds. And check out the video on the end screen. This is my 3rd earthquake. Whenever I'm here, I'm at my friend's place in Vancouver, I'm having these earthquakes. So that's really, So when they began that initiative last June, geez, they're slow. They have, in my opinion, really avoided to make that decision, hoping that the Brady seism might ease out. But during that earthquake swarm, when they had a really hefty day, I think it was February 15th, the land rise of the Brady seism, right? The land is rising at the moment with 1 centimeter per month, was doubling to like 1 centimeter per day during that earthquake swarm, because something is filling up underneath the surface. Something is accumulating there. That's why the land is rising. Earthquakes, land rise, increased emissions, increased sulfurous volcanic gases, increased CO2 emissions in the basements of homes. They had to close the gym of an teaching institute. I don't think it's a normal school. It's more like a university, something like this, in many homes. So this is getting serious. So this is supposed to be a multidisciplinary group, that's what they're saying, that should work to evaluate the update of the alert plan for the risk of eruption. So they say they will have experts from various sectors as a part of it, including representatives of the National Department of Civil Protection, scientists, of course, from the Vesuvius Observatory, the National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology, and the Campania region, that's the province where this is located, and other bodies and institutions. But the most important guys are really the Civil Protection and INGV and Vesuvius Observatory, because INGV and Vesuvius Observatory, they're the ones that tell the Civil Protection, and the Civil Protection tells the other, tells the government, hey, we advise to raise or not. So it seems that they will give us, hopefully, an update on the progress that they're hopefully making in these 2 days. They're meeting for the second time already in 2025. So this tells you something. If everything was like, oh, no problem, this is totally normal, like many officials are saying, it's not. Many scientists of the INGV say it's not, and Giuseppe Di Natale recently said, guys, Campi Flegrei had long phases where it was completely quiet, no bradyseism. The bradyseisms only occur before an eruption, before and after. After is not the case here right now, so we are before. And in the 80s, when that happened, there was a magma intrusion, so magma was on the move. Just didn't make it to the surface. And now the caprock layer, I mentioned it many times, since the 80s, since that incident, has only a third of the strength left. That's what they found out in a study. So they already met in January in a joint session with experts from all the various risk sectors like volcanic risk, seismic, meteorological, hydrogeological, tsunami, and industrial. Tsunami, because Campi Flegrei stretches into the Gulf of Pozzuoli. There's underwater craters. So if there's an eruption underwater, it creates a tsunami that can come pretty quickly to the coast of Naples. And scientists, and many scientists from Norway, for example, they have a lot of tsunamis in their fjords. They said this thing could get as high as 30 meters, as high as 100 feet in worst case scenario. But this meeting now is the first meeting that is exclusively dedicated to the volcanic risk. So that tells you something, in my opinion. So with the carbon dioxide problems, they say that they think that the situation on this front is considered under control by the experts. I'm not so sure about that because they don't really know where it's coming from, right? I mean, they know it comes from the volcano, but where is it being released? How is it going? Where is it traveling? But what people are wondering, so this meeting is not about that. That's what they basically want to say. Because if there had been a specific alert just regarding the CO2, the commission meeting would have put it on the agenda of the session. So this is really only about the alert level of the volcano. And guys, I really think because orange, then we're talking about evacuations if this is raised to orange. But the thing is, they're saying that the study on the alert stages is still in progress, so it is not certain that the meeting will announce any new alert levels. So it is. I guess it's a waiting game, and will they... I mean, it's a risk. If they raise it to orange, I think they can bury their tourist season in the ground. I mean, would you go there then? I wouldn't. I already would not go there. So they have green, yellow. Yellow means attention, the volcano, pay attention. And orange means pre-alarm. And then we have the red. That means alarm, right? So with the orange alert, and here, this is the thing, guys. With the orange alert, the evacuation plan is triggered within 27 hours. So if they raise it to orange, that's going to be interesting. But they're saying, well, at the moment, since things have somewhat calmed down, although the earthquakes are picking up again, that all the parameters that they are monitoring at the moment, including the geochemical and the land rise, do not cause any particular alarm. So they think that it's not going to be raised if we look at that. But if you look at their ordinances, what is needed to change the color from yellow to orange is that, for example, the evaluation of the frequency and intensity of the tremors. And that was really intense in the last swarm. But yeah, that swarm has somewhat ended. A new swarm has started, but that new swarm is basically something that we had over the last year and a half. But it's still there. It's not that there's no earthquakes anymore. I can show you the current lists of the earthquakes. So March 4th starts out with a 1.0, and I'm only showing you the ones above 1. So there's some 0.9, 0.8. So there's way more than this. So shallow depth at 2 kilometers, and then there was Vesuvius, and then there was yesterday 1.5, Campi Flegrei. And so over the last few days, we always had something. March 1st, 2.1. And again, since March 1st, roughly 70 earthquakes already. The authorities in Naples, for example, they're also taking the CO2 thing serious. They're buying gas masks and breathing machines and gas detectors for hospitals, for example. And then the scammers are out as well. So there's fake technicians that are coming to homes to measure CO2 in homes. So the municipality of Pozzuoli is ringing the alarms that seems like fake technicians ringing the bells of worried residents that think, yeah, that's the government that wants to test our homes for this CO2. And they want to enter the homes in Campi Flegrei to measure the carbon dioxide levels, but it's actually a scam. So these people are really, they should be, I don't know, I'm not saying this, but they should go to the Solfatara and live right on top of it. So the mayor of Pozzuoli has also denounced it. He said, we have received several reports of alleged technicians who are announcing to people of Pozzuoli by phone also that the municipality is proceeding with measurements of CO2 levels in private homes. But he says all of this is absolutely false. So it seems they're not measuring the private homes. So he says it's an attempted scan. But, and it comes because the INGV has raised the alarm about carbon dioxide concentrations in basement, and they're not testing the private homes yet. So the firefighters have started inspections of public facilities like schools and hospitals and nursing homes. So municipalities warning, don't let anyone in. It's looting. They will steal from you. So that was my latest update, guys. Very, very interesting stuff, I find. But check out my latest video about Santorini, because there's inspection reports what could happen to all these hotels, the hotel pools and the hot tubs. So they could basically slide down the cliff. So it seems it's not really safe, and that's kind of sad. So check out this video. There's interesting new stuff, and I hope to see you very, very soon. If you liked the video, guys, like it, share it with your friends, and if you want to support the channel, become a supporting channel member. We have a really cool group of members already. Click the join button or click the link in the description of this video. And if you want to further support me, I have a buymeacoffee.com site. You can buy me a coffee or two to support me. A link is also in the description. And thanks for your supers, and for all of you who are supporting me. Thanks so much. It's very, very greatly appreciated. And I see you in the next one. Bye-bye.